Hi, my name's Dar.Ra. I'm a writer and producer originally from Brighton, and today we're going to be taking you around some classic venues where some big acts played over the years and mean a lot to me. So right now we're standing outside the Concord, which was originally home to some of the biggest bands the UK's ever produced, from the Who to the Small Faces to the Rolling Stones. Everyone who was anyone who had a kind of thing going on in the 1960s played here, and I was lucky enough to play one of the closing shows in the mid-90s before it actually closed down and moved to a venue just down the road, which is now Concord 2.
Yeah, they always say good goes to young. Yeah, it's clear now that you follow that rule. I can still taste that inside my lips. Feel you gently reading. Take those chances.
This is where an iconic kind of part of Quadrophenia, where a lot of the mods have turned up from London, and all the scooters are parked outside, and they see Sting basically going across on his chrome Vespa, and this is sort of, you know, it's etched in kind of like mod mythology of a meeting point for mod culture. So yeah, it's quite a spiritual home really for the mods, and obviously that every year they have a mod scooter rally down here as well. So we're outside Concord 2, and as you can see, Chaz and Dave, my mates, are playing down here, which is all good. From the Jam, Bruce Foxton and Rick Butler are playing from the Jam, and the Jam played their very last gig in Brighton, which was a huge event down in Brighton Centre, which we'll be heading down to that way. And might be lucky and get in.
I can still taste it, here's on my lips. Feel you gently breathing. Take those chances. Whoa.
So this is the iconic lift that used to take you from this level up to the top of the promenade. And sadly it's not working now, although we have tried, but it ain't happening. But yeah, that was basically what this was about. It was just literally a walk through, had a quick jimmy, and then you got in the lift and got up to the top tier there. Now it is a venue, obviously. It has been a venue for quite a long time, I think since the mid-90s, and they've got everyone from, you know, Misty and Roots. I worked with Gong, and Gong played down here. Bianca de Gaia again sort of worked with their management team and saw them, and obviously you can pretty much see anything that you want down here, any type of music, any type of groove. Northern Soul Weekenders they have in the summer holidays, which is really wicked on a bank holiday, August bank holiday. Always the place to be, August bank holiday. This is it, the Concord 2. It is what it is. But this is the Holy Grail. You're on stage at Concord 2. As I said, one of the most iconic venues in Brighton, and if you make it here, you can make it anywhere. It's all based on me touring from sort of 97 to 27. And it's really about people that I met while I was out on the road, from, you know, being in Australia, far north Queensland, meeting some super cool individuals, Aboriginal guys, and we all had very inspirational stories to tell, which I thought would have you know, an uplifting effect for people that were interested in some of these individual stories. I met a guy, an Aboriginal guy from the Stolen Generation. They were basically taken away from their families and brought up on Christian reservations. And his story is very much about faith. He had his hand chopped off in an accident, and but he also played the mandolin in a church. And he said to me that he used the power of prayer and the power of faith to basically overcome the non-ability to play. And within about 18 months, he regained the strength of his hand. I believe in the potential of human beings, that, you know, when we put our minds to things, we do create miracles. Your life? I think most of my life has been miraculous. I'd say sort of in the venue that we're going to go and have a little look at, which was called the Top Rank Suite. It was, you know, playing in front of 2,000 people. supporting a band called Misty and Roots, and just having an amazing time sort of backstage with these amazing people who made incredible music. And I was lucky enough at the age of 16, 17 to be exposed to sort of, you know, the whole reggae kind of culture. And you know, so I'd say that was probably one of the big standout moments for me. It's a little book of inspiration. It's not something you'd have to kind of like, you know, go from chapter to chapter. It's something you can pick up and just delve in and pick out what you want to pick out. No one's preaching, no one's saying anything, I'm just saying it. These are people that I felt needed their stories told.
Take a look there.
When I first saw Quadrophenia as a nipper, it kind of influenced everything I did from then on in, and everything about Brighton was basically, I always relate back to the film. So being on Brighton Beach, I'd always think about Jimmy when he comes down and he's on his own, and you just hear that opening strains to Can You See the Real Me by The Who. But you know, as a kid, we used to come down here on the summer holidays, and we used to dive off the pier, which was kind of mad because there's so much kind of shit down there that you don't even want to imagine. One day we dived off this pier, beautiful day, and the mate was swimming back towards the pier, and he stabbed himself and impaled on a metal spike that was sticking out of the pier. And we had to pull him off and then get him swimming back to shore before he bled to death, and then get an ambulance to take him up to the Sussex County Hospital. And it was touch and go whether he lived or died, really. So it was down to me. I saved a life that day, so I feel quite proud of that. So this is the bottom of West Street, and it's famous for lots of different things, but mainly for having one of the biggest venues in the town at the time, which was called the Top Rank Suite, and everyone played down here, from the Specials to the Beat, Madness, the Selector, all the Stiff Records crew, Elvis Costello. And if you played here, like, you were really on the way to sort of selling a few records before you went on to the Brighton Centre. So this is it, this is the Hippodrome. This is where the Beatles played, 1964, with Roy Orbison, and I believe at that time the Beatles weren't even top of the bill. Roy Orbison was top of the bill at the time, and it's been home to some classic colour bands like the Rolling Stones and the Kinks, you name it. Those boys were playing here in the mid-60s. Unfortunately, all throughout my time in Brighton, this has always been a closed down venue, which is very, very tragic, because inside is an epic place where it should have been left open for all the up and coming bands from then on in to be able to play, and it's a sad sort of state of affairs that it's been left to go to this situation. So this is the Brighton Hippodrome, unfortunately. It is what it is.